Hi, I just received in a post, I don't look my best, I apologise, but in the post I just received my booster brick of Rime the FrostMaiden. Rime the FrostMaiden? Can't talk, that excited. But I thought I'd just do a quick unboxing video of it. I've got like another camera set up here and I'm going to have to cut the footage together because it won't use both cameras on my device at the same time. But hopefully it will work. I'll show things on this camera and then on the back camera, but I'm really excited to get started. I like doing unboxing videos because I like watching unboxing videos, at least of minis. So I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of hoping that if enough people watch this video, Wizards of the Coast might send me minis as they do some unboxing video people, but I don't hold out much hope for that. But you know, Wizards of the Coast or WizKids, if you're watching, I'd very much like to be sent free things if you would do it. But anyway, let's just get started. I've got a Stanley knife here, so it's not going to be too hard to open these things. I might just leave it unbuckled, but we'll go for the first one. So I bought a brick. A brick is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 boxes, and you can buy a full case, which means you get one of everything, but I can't afford that. I can only just about spring for the brick. So we're doing it live. We're doing this. Let's look at the first one. And the first one is something that I really wanted and I'm really, really happy with. We've got, I'll do the small ones first. We'll do the small ones first and then we'll do the big one because I think it's funner that way. So let's have a look. We've got, first off, we've got, oh, that's very cool. This is a Wretched Nomad with cage. Yep, with cage. See if I can get it on this camera here against the white background. Yeah, not as great on this camera. Maybe I should move it forward so you can see it. But that's no good. There we go. Technical difficulties, I do apologise, but it's quite a cool little mini. It's got like a skull helm on it. I might just leave that in front of the camera. So I've got skull as like a little skull mask and a dagger. Really cool for a rogue or something like that. This kind of set was like more of a risk in my mind, because not everything in it is necessarily useful for every campaign, but some really good kind of character. This is another great one, really great character minis. This is a human hunter, great red hair, like winter cloak and a bow. Just looks real. This is a great box. This was worth the price of entry. Well, it was definitely worth it at the start here. Very excited about. And this is really cool. This is a gnome squidling. So that's kind of like when a mind flayer brain thing gets in your ear and it does it to a gnome and it doesn't go quite right. This is what happens. Really cute. I believe there's like a let's play where one is someone's familiar. But that thing looks amazing. And now for the main figure, which I'm really glad I got because it's great for polymorph and stuff like that. And in my campaign we call it a cheesemaker because certain giants have one. We got a mammoth. Yeah, just mammoth, not woolly mammoth, just a mammoth. But it looks super cool. It looks really good. The paint job, it's reasonable. It's mainly just an ink wash over brown. But you don't necessarily want much more for a mammoth. But it's really cool, and I dig it. And I put that there. We might reposition this camera somewhat, I think, just so it's close to the ground. There we go. But yeah, you've got a really cool kind of figure there. It's just awesome, I think. Great for polymorph. Great for like Tundra campaigns. We'll move this to the side so that we've got space to look at everything. But that's great. Might end up not cutting this footage together if I'm honest. I might just use this camera. But that's box one of 8. And do you know what? I'm really chuffed. I've got something I really wanted. Kind of hoping for that snowy owlbear a little bit. But we'll see how we go. There's a lot of like smaller figures that are the main figures. When you open them, you've got 3 little bubble wrapped ones and like a main figure in plastic. And some of them are smaller than maybe some of the bigger ones in the set. There are sets that they do where everything's big. But but this one, there's some like more like big winter wolves and stuff, which aren't awful. They are useful, but you know, when you're hoping for like a mammoth and you get a winter wolf, it's not necessarily. We'll see. Oh, we've got a little WizKids brochure here, which I don't need at all. But speak of the devil, well, not quite, but we'll do the little ones first. Oh, already love it. So we've got a Kobold Mountaineer. It's a cute little. If I move my face out of the way, it'll focus. Cute little. Let's get a light on that. Cute little guy. I can make it focus. Really nice little mountaineering dude. Put that in front of here so you can see it a bit better. I don't know what I'm doing with these lights, but I'm doing something. We have got another Illithid. We've got a Gnome Ceremorph, which is a fancy word for Illithid. So it's another like of the smaller races, species I should say, in D&D, turned into a Mind Flayer essentially. Ooh, what's this? It's a very interesting one. Oh, okay. This is Nas Lantomir, which is one of the character miniatures from the set. So this person is in Rime of the FrostMaiden. Got a little ferret on the shoulder, which is just awesome. The bow staff, some of these miniatures come bent, so you just need to use a bit of hot water to bend them back into shape. But I'll just put this on the other camera so it picks that up quite nicely. Yeah, I think I might end up abandoning this camera because it's just not doing it. But as our main figure, one of the slightly more disappointing ones, but I'm not going to cry because they're all useful. We have a Crag Cat. Cool mini. You know, not the most phenomenal paint job in the world, but it will do. The standard of painting in these, I'll put this in front of here. The standard of painting in these, it has gone up in the last few years, but still some of the fur and things like that isn't always perfect, and sometimes it's just an ink wash over a base paint, which is fine, and that's, you know, that's some people's standard of painting. I can't do much better. But you know, it depends on what you perceive to be value out of these things. Next box. Okie dokie. Oh, okay, let's have a look. That's an interesting one, definitely an interesting one. I am officially abandoning the second camera. Never mind that. It's okay. Doesn't always work out. I didn't really have time for a test stream because I was super excited. Okay, this is one of the slightly weirder ones, but still good. This is a knucklehead trout. So if you can see, it's like a fish in some water. Great water effect. The painting on the fish, I would not say was the most perfect thing, but it kind of looks like a carp. But I just love this little water effect under it. And if you've got like a polymorph or a druid in the party, a great little mini to just represent a fish. It's just good to have, I think. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. There are a recurring set of things in my campaign, which are the Duragar. This is a Duragar Mindmaster, which will be great for one of the kind of chief villains I've got in a campaign I'm running at the moment. Duragar are like dark dwarves that have been living underground and were enslaved by Illithids, so went a bit evil. But cool, and I really like much like with Drow, I like to take back those kind of subspecies of things in D&D, because like, you know, I like the, you know, person who's from evil subset of people who is good, and I like to like bend the trope like that. We've got a kind of a double here with I have to say, a very bad paint job on the face, which is disappointing. This is another human trapper, kind of like the one we got before, so it's a variant. So we've got the one we got before here. I'll move my face so it focuses. Which is, by all intents and purposes, a great paint job. Has eyes and eyebrows. which is above and beyond for these minis. And we've got this human trapper here, and if you can see, kind of a bit of a, I think maybe a glue smudge where the face is, which is a shame. And this mini is kind of gender ambiguous as well, so you could use it for male or female, where the other one is kind of quite clearly, you know, I would say female representing. But I'm definitely going to have to repaint this one. I'm going to have to go over it. I might even have to take that head off and file it down. I'm not sure. I think the glue has just damaged it. But still, a great generic kind of like mini for a hero or like an NPC that you've got. It's all good. And then for the main one I'm not too excited to have as a main mini because it's a little bit small for my tastes, but I do like it in principle. Oyamninatrak, I said that wrong, I butchered it. This is a Goliath werebear. So Goliaths are kind of like half giant playable species, and werebears are what they sound like. This is a really cool feature mini that is just like full of character. I think maybe they've glued a second part of a head in and the wash has only taken to half of that head. So I might go in and repaint it so that join isn't quite as clear, which is, you know, disappointing out of a pre-painted set. But the figure itself, full of character. And although I love painting minis, I buy these things so that I don't have to, mainly. And it's always nice, you know, it's cool stuff that you can't necessarily buy as well, individually. But I don't expect too much from the paint jobs. These are mass produced. And there are some good paint jobs in these sets. Just sometimes luck of the draw. So this is box 4. We're halfway through. Ooh. Sorry if this is a long video and longer than you wanted, but okie dokie. I'm excited. Ah, okay. Well, you know, everyone needs one of those, I guess. So we've got some of the feature smaller minis of the set here, which is surprising to me because I would have expected them to be larger. This is the FrostMaiden. This is one of like the key bosses, I think, in Rime of the FrostMaiden. And I'm pretty stoked to have this. I'm not going to run around with the FrostMaiden. I have friends who will, and they're more than welcome to borrow this. But that's just such a cool like elemental figure, or, you know, maybe like a living spell or something like that. It's just that's going to go down awesome on any table. But it's one of the free representations. Oh yay! Another tiny one that I'm excited about. In Rime of the FrostMaiden, they have vampire kobolds, and I don't think I've ever been more excited to hear the two words put together than that. You know what? Pretty good. It's a tiny mini, so I don't mind the eyes being a bit splotchy. But I just love that more vicious sculpt of a kobold. Even if you don't say it's a vampire, you can use that for like a feral kobold or like a leader figure or something along those lines. Yes. So there is a complaint that there are too many gnolls in Icons of the Realms boxes. I disagree. I chuffing love gnolls. There is a variant of this in white which I was hoping to get, and I might not, but I do love this gnoll with a bow. Gnoll with a bow. Gnoll with a bow. There he is. Really good detail on that mini as well. I wonder if I put the light this way, would that make it look? No, that doesn't help you at all. But I think it looks pretty nice. I think it's doing a good job there. So there's that. That's always good to have. And you know what? This isn't an overwhelming miniature to get, but everyone needs a reindeer. Reindeers are better than people. Sven, don't you know it's true? I don't know if those are the words. Everyone loves Frozen. So yeah, I'm happy to have a reindeer. That'll find a place in a game at some point. Let's get on to box 5. I'm hoping for something big and hefty in one of these. I enjoyed the mammoth. I'd kind of like the killer whale. I know there's a killer whale in this set and I would love to have that. But there are some frost giant adjacent things in there. It would be also awesome to have. It won't be the end of my world if I don't get the killer whale, but I would really like it. This is a good one. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, let's keep going as we were going. Let's not start with the biggest thing. Let's start with the smallest. This might be our first double. It is not. It is something I know a player of mine will be very glad is in this set. is an Arctic fox. It's extremely tiny, and I love him so. Oh, that's going to be someone's familiar, I think. Just imagine, have you seen that video of the fox laughing online? Oh, I didn't do the sound right, but let's have a look. This is, this is also very good. Getting a lot of good small minis in this, which is taking away the sting of getting things like a reindeer. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with reindeer. This is a night hag, which is not the best paint job in the world, but a great sculpt. A great staff that needs a bit of straightening, or not, you know, could have a crooked staff. The tone of paint they've used for the skin is a very dark purple, and of course they don't do highlights on these things. Oh, you just got a really bad close-up of my face, then I apologise. They don't do highlights on these things. I can turn this around, actually. Yeah. Oh, now we're cooking with gas. They don't do highlights on these things, so it doesn't come up quite as nicely, but yeah, I could touch that up. But I dig night hags are interesting. I think they go to one of the hell planes, and when you're there, you might turn into. You've got like a percentage chance of turning into a lava, and they take those and sell them in hell. This is cool. This is a cool mini that I like. Goliath Barbarian does what it says on the tin. He looks really cool. Yeah, this is how I should have done the video all along. It looks really cool. Got some good kind of features in there, some facial tattoos. That shield is, for like the standard of mini painting that goes on, I think that shield's insanely detailed. And I'm really enjoying that. And now we're going to move on to the bigger. Are you ready? I'm really happy I got this one. I've just seen this on an episode of Critical Role. It's really fun to watch. We have the Abominable Yeti, which I don't believe there's been a previous release of as a mini. Abominable Yeti's a light Yeti, but they're a size class bigger. Oh god, it won't even fit in frame. Yeah, that's absolutely sterling, and the paint job on it, I don't know if you guys can make out, is really, really good. I'm super stoked to have that. That's going to find its way into a campaign at some point. Nobody's in a snowy place at the moment. There's no reason why they couldn't be. Oh, I flipped it then. Never mind. Right, I've got people Facebook messaging me while this is happening. Very happy already. I'm hoping for something maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a giant or a killer whale would be nice, but we'll see. I'm already. This is. I think I've already got my value out of this. I would just, you know, you always got to dream big. I can't see what the. Oh, it's a big one. I'm happy with that. It's a big one. Right. A lot of brochures in these things that I do not need. A lot of paper whiz kids. I would say there's already enough plastic in these things. Don't make me waste more by having a load of paper brochures. I think you can assume that if I know about these coming out, I know about your future releases. But we've got a cool little goblin mini here. I don't know if you can see him. There he is. I can't remember. Let's see what he's called. Or she. This is a snow goblin. The snow goblin has a really cool skull helmet, a really cool gnarled blade. There's not enough painted goblin minis out there, I don't think, especially with like cool extra features. This can totally be a leader of a goblin warband, which is nice, as you can often have trouble differentiating between different on the battlefield. It's nice to have something with a cool helmet or a cool sword that differentiates it. Okay, we've got our first real true double, I think, if you could call it so. It is another, what do you call it? Reined nomad with cage. I don't see a cage on this thing. It says with cage. I don't know what that means. But we've got another. It's similar. I would say worse paint job on this one than the previous one. Like you can, I don't know, is their skin supposed to be seen through it? Yeah, it's comparable. It is definitely comparable, but that's, you know, that's two bandits right there, do you know what I mean? I'm happy with that. One more little one, or no, yeah, it's another one. Always good to have, another little squidling. You've seen it already. Just a little squidling, I'm happy with it. I can't believe I was doing the video wrong this whole time, but you've stuck with me, so I appreciate it. Little squidling, very cute. Good to have two. And now for the, well, it might be the best thing I get tonight. But there we go. Sorry about that. It is, well, I'm pretty sure it's called the Tomb Tapper. It's a really awesome mini. I've no idea what the stats are because I didn't remember the FrostMaiden. I just bought some of the features of it. But I need to buy the monsters maybe because the Tomb Tapper, if you can see, is this really awesome mini with a mouth in its stomach and no head. This awesome hammer, which, you know, a little bit bent, as is to be expected. Happens in transit. The trick is just to take hot water, some like boiling water, dip it in there, reshape it, and then put it in cold water. And it kind of freezes back normal. But that is just a sterling mini. It's going to be some kind of horror. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's not a Tomb Tapper in my campaign, it can be something awesome. It's just a simple dry brush job on it, but do you know what? Sometimes that's all I do when I paint my minis. I've got two more. I've got two more, and I think I've got one that's heavier than the other, so I'm going to do that one last. I need my knife. It's beating me. That one's loose and heavy. That one's also loose and heavy. That one feels heavier. Let's do this one. So something's rolling about in these. That's okay. A little bit ripped, but what can you do? Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'll take that. Not one of the minis that I really wanted from the set, but it's really cool. It's come loose, but that's okay. I'll show you separately. I don't have the stats for this creature, and it looks very similar to another creature in the monster manual, but it still looks awesome. I will totally use it. So look at the small ones first. Oh, what are you? Oh, okay, that's cool. We've got a Orc Ranger. Quite cool. Not the most detailed paint job in the world. And the axe is slightly bent, but there's not enough Orc miniatures out there. And especially now that they are a player species, and you can be one. Good to have a bit more range with your Orcs. There's a little bit of a paint splotch there, maybe a bit of gloss varnish got on it. I can fix that, no problem. And even if I couldn't, it wouldn't be too big a deal. We've got, oh yes, I'm happy to have another one of these. It's another Kobold Vampire. I think the technical term for it is a Kobold Vampire Spawn. My camera around, I apologise. Yeah, he's cool. Maybe if I put it on my forehead, you can see it. There we go. Big backdrop for you there. But yeah, another one of those. Always good to have more than one. You can have multiple vampires. I feel like one on its own wouldn't really do much. I won't bother turning the camera around for that. Okay, cool. These are interesting. I don't know that much about them. This is a Chwinger with Icicle Staff. Just a really cool kind of like regional D&D creature. It seems to have like one eye poking out this fur, but the eye staff is very cool. This nice little shade of blue plastic. Do you know what? That's fun and different, and I think we need more fun and different in D&D. I think there's a sameness that goes on. The final mini in that set is the Frost Salamander, which I think is just like a polar opposite of a salamander, as is in the monster manual. And it's got this really cool kind of like iridescent effect on it. I don't know if you can make that out. I'll turn the camera around. Like its chest has this kind of metallic sheen to it. But it's definitely cool, and it will find its way into a band of adventurers somewhere. I have Chippy, so I've got a lot of gas. Last box. It's heavy. I'm hoping it's something good. If it isn't, it isn't. You're gonna do, you roll the dice with these things, which is why some people buy the full bricks, but 400 quid is not something I can buy with, especially during a global pandemic. So, let's have a look. Bless this box. We're happy. We're very happy. It's not a giant, and that's okay, but it is something very, very good, and I'm happy to have. Small ones first. We have another, like a triplicate. Well, I say not a true triplicate, but another double human ranger, human hunter rather, which I'm stoked to have. Always good. Another Chwinger with icicle. No, not with icicle staff. He's got snowball. That's really cool. And it's just nice to have a creature holding a snowball. Like, what more can you say about that? Okay, yeah. I'm happy with that. I don't actually have any of these at all. It's a very basic mini to have. It's just a wolf. Just a straight up wolf. Nothing too special. Nice coloration. But, you know, a good basic mini to have. You know, if you've got a ranger with an animal companion, it could be that. It could be accompany a band of bandits or something, or just a wolf on its own. That's all of the little minis I've had. And on the best one, and one I was really hoping to get, and I'm happy that I've got, for the sake of polymorph, and also because I played an Oath of Gloria Paladin recently who was a Triton and had this as his summoned steed, is a killer whale. Oh, brilliant. Just brilliant. That's really cool. The water has a little iridescence to the top of it, which is a nice touch and something I might try myself in future, but you can see through to the tail, which has been painted black, and that's just another level. I mean, I can't do that on the minis that have that, but I've got a shark similarly, but I can't get inside the plastic to paint the tail. This plastic is clearly two parts that they've glued together around it, but I'm just super, you know what, that's not much of a paint job because there's not much to do, but it looks good and succinct, and I'm really chuffed with it. So yeah, let's get all this together. And when you put it all together, it doesn't look like that much after you've opened it, but when you realise the table potential and what you're going to kind of get out of it, you realise that, that's my goosh ball there, you realise that, apologies for my desk, that you've got a lot of options there. This is going to come up like at some point, do you know what I mean? And in an underwater adventure, it's always good to have a killer whale. There's a lot of character in those minis. The only thing I'm really gutted about, really, is that this isn't the white version of it, because there's like an albino knoll. And it's the first time maybe I've been gutted to not get that many knolls, but it really fun. I'm loving it, and I'm excited to use them. Now I've just got to find somewhere to put them where my dog can't chew them. Thanks for watching.